Sorry about that. The last video got cut out. I was mid-speech there and the storage got full. So anyway, I uploaded the first part. So what I was trying to say is I went to the client's house, long story short, and basically I ended up like losing out a little bit, which isn't a big deal. You know, you're going to lose out some before you learn pricing. So my point was to try to factor in the difference between a cleanup and just a regular maintenance ready mow. That's something that is very important, and it was something I kept overlooking, and I did it multiple times, and it was frustrating because, you know, when you go to a client's house and the yard is a mess, they're not going to mention it either. They're not going to say, oh yeah, my yard's 7 feet tall. They're going to say, well, you know, it's not the best it's ever looked. Or they're going to say, well, you know, it's a little bit tall. They're not going to tell you it's a total hayfield and it's never been touched in the last 6 months, and we need you to come here and mow it 3 times to get it looking normal, and you know, do extra edging and, you know, all this work, which is great. I love that kind of work. So it's not anything I don't want to do. It's just that I need to make sure I get paid properly for that. So that's something I would recommend, is just make sure you get, you know, budget a little bit of time extra for cleanups as well. And that's how you sell it. You say it's a cleanup, you know, it's not a maintenance ready yard, it's more of a cleanup, and that's what we need to do. So anyway, I digress. So we're almost done with that. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. There's some other bits of information I was thinking about in regards to your first year in business. The next piece was, I wasted a lot of time with custom, I guess you could call it like a custom CRM. I purchased Google Workspace, and I was using like Google Drive for everything, and trying to store like my business receipts in Google Drive. Just, you know, snapping a screenshot of the receipt or taking a picture of it. And this is just something that I learned that would be easier, is you can if you're able to afford it, you can do like a subscription, such as I use QuickBooks Online. There's QuickBooks Self-Employed and there's QuickBooks Online. Don't get the two confused. For me, I ended up accidentally setting up an account with QuickBooks Self-Employed, and I meant to do online. So I had to go through and I had to go back and call customer service and have them cancel the first one, and then I was able to make the second one. But anyway, my point is, the other thing is use software to your advantage. So for me, I spent the whole year without a CRM. I was just tracking data on a spreadsheet, customer data. I mean, I was putting it all in a spreadsheet, and I was just like, it was a mess. It was. I mean, I had it all. I had the phone numbers. I had all their information, but it was all over the place. So you don't need to pay for a fancy, expensive CRM. You can go to Yard. I recommend Yardbooks, and Brian Fullerton recommended this, and I tried it, and it was amazing. I mean, it solved like 100 problems I was having. It was taking me forever to create estimates. It was taking me forever to do anything. So once I jumped on, and you can get on for free, you just go and create an account. And I would recommend doing that before. And if you want to upgrade to Jobber or any of the other platforms, I'm sure they're all great for their own reasons. If you do your research and you figure out that one of them might be better for you down the road, then that's great. But starting out, you can just use Yardbook, and it's free. It's literally free, and it has all these good features. Sorry, there's bees flying around or something. There's all these features about it that make it really great. So that's what I did. I finally, this year, my second year in business, I switched to a CRM. I switched to Yardbook, and it's free. It was easy to set up. It took me a little bit of time to kind of learn how to use it. You know, I had to play around with it, figure out how to make estimates and all that kind of stuff. But once I did it, it streamlined everything, and I can just go to a customer's house, get an estimate. You know, I take down their basic information and I put it into the CRM. I create a new customer in the CRM, and then you just go and for those of you who don't know what a CRM is just customer relationship management or something like that. It's basically when you're a business owner or you're trying to organize data. It's just basically a collection of all the information, and it allows you to utilize that to store all your information, your notes that you have for properties, your information, customers' phone numbers, email. It just populates all that into one place, so you're not running around with notebooks here, notebooks there. You know, oh, I lost my notebook, it blew away, now I lost all my customers, whatever it is. It just helps you get organized. Another tip would be to definitely get a business phone number. I did a business phone number through Google. I just created I don't know if it was Google My Business or what the heck it was. I don't remember what it is, but I have a subscription to Google, and I'm able to I think it's like $12 a month or something, and I'm able to have my own Google Voice business phone number. So that's the one that I advertise. You don't really want people calling your personal phone, and you want to keep your personal separate from your business. So that's just a couple more tips. I think we're just about done with what I wanted to cover. If I had just implemented those strategies starting out, again, just figure out a base price for what you want to charge for a day's labor, figure out a CRM. I would recommend, again, just jumping on Yardbook. That way you're not sitting there writing in notepads. Get a phone number. These are all basic things you can do your first year for free or for low cost. I know it's hard when you're first starting out. For me, it's still hard. My second year, I'm still breaking even. So, and what else? Yeah, know the difference between a cleanup when you go to mow and a full-on cleanup versus just a regular lawn cut. If it just needs a regular lawn cut, you can obviously price for that. And you still want to give them the estimate. You still want to say, well, the first time I cut, it's going to be a range of $150 to $250 or whatever it ends up being. It could be all the way up to, I've done some cleanups for $600 because there was junk removal involved as well. So it wasn't just a property cleanup. It was now a yard cleanup with hauling debris, hauling plastic, old kids slides and metal parts and tires and old refrigerators, whatever it turned. I had one project that turned into a cleanup, so it was kind of like a hybrid where I cut their stuff and then I did a cleanup as well. So it was kind of both. So you got to factor that all into the price. You can't just go there and it just can't be a one price fits all. It has to be an estimate of how long you think it's going to take. And also, I budget in like the dump fees and things like that. And I explain to the customer that they'll be paying for the dump fees, and then what you see here is the labor and the dump fees and all that stuff kind of combined. So just some tips for that when you're just getting started. I guess one more thing I'd like to add too is have a uniform. So this is kind of a weird one, but I don't hear anybody talking about this. And get a uniform, get a shirt. Even if you can't afford to have a logo put on. My girlfriend helped me make this, and it came out really good. But if you don't have the money when you're first starting out, like I didn't have the money to go to a print shop and have them embroider or print shirts. It would have been hundreds of dollars. So what you can do, literally, I would say more than anything for your own, for like mental, like for your confidence, go to whatever it is. I went on and bought a Husqvarna t-shirt, not this one. I had another one. And it was a really nice, I spent like $40 on this one t-shirt, and that was like my uniform. And I felt professional when I wore it. So it boosted my confidence. I wore the shirt, and it's like when you're trying to start your own business and do your own thing, and you're going from working for someone else to all of a sudden you're working for yourself now. Like these little things help you build confidence, and they help you kind of like make the jump. So definitely go get a shirt. Long sleeve, short sleeve, doesn't matter. It can just be literally I picked this one up at the dollar store for $1 or something, or like $3. It's a Hanes shirt, and it's polyester, and it works great, and then I put my logo on it later on. So get yourself a shirt, wear it with pride, and be confident that you are, you're a proud business owner. You're out there crushing it. Again, your mindset is so important the first year that you start out your business. You're gonna get made fun of. You're gonna be losing friends. Your friends are gonna disappear. A lot of my friends disappeared when I started my business. I've been kind of just going at it, but then I've built other relationships with other business owners, and I'm kind of just like leveling up. And you learn as you go. But sometimes, in some cases, when you're working at a job or something, you're getting ready to make the jump. They get butthurt, they get jealous, they start talking down to you. You need to boost your confidence, and you need to be in the right mental mind frame that you're not going to have everything figured out your first time that you go to mow. You're not going to have everything figured out at all, and that's okay. You have to give yourself that grace period to get things figured out. Now, if you've been in business for 5-10 years and you're showing up looking like crap, and you're not attempting to answer the phone with a positive attitude and be polite, and these are things that you might want to try to work on. But I'm saying for those guys that are just brand new, there's the world is yours. The world is yours. Whatever you want to do with your business. The last tip I want to give for you guys is to just sort of create a list, and it can just be 1, 2, or 3 services. I wouldn't go crazy with 1,000 services. But just basically, I would recommend getting a list of services, at least in your mind, and I wrote mine down as well, because I built a Facebook business page and a whole bunch of other stuff, so I wanted to make sure I had a list of things. But anyway, get the services mapped out that you want to offer and just stick to those. You're gonna have customers, even to this day, I show up on a customer's property, I'm there for just maybe a tree quote, cutting the tree down, or I'm there for a quote on pressure washing, or I'm there for a quote on landscaping, and I'll have a customer say, hey, can you do a driveway install? And I'm like, sorry, I can't do that. It's out of my scope of work. It's not something I'm comfortable doing. And just be honest with them. You know, if you the last thing you want to do is go to a customer's house and say, yeah, I can build you a new house. Like, no, I can't. I'm not a carpenter, and I'm not a person that can build a house. So I'm not going to tell you, yeah, I can build you a shed out back. That's no problem at all. I can take that on. Don't be like getting sidetracked with all this extra work. Just focus, double down on what you want to do in your business, your work. I picked lawn care, cleanups, spring, fall cleanups, a little bit of tree work, tree service, just basic stuff. Maybe you need a tree cut up in the backyard, a pine tree or something fell down over the winter. And that was about it. And then since then, I've branched out into a whole bunch of other things. Now I'm offering mulch installations, junk removal. What else pressure washing. I can pressure wash an entire house. So these are all things that I'm offering now that I didn't offer when I first